How's it going, Guardian? Shifty here, and I'm back with my second upload for today. In this one, I'm going to be going over the Solar 3.0 aspects and fragments, as well as some of the ability changes. Again, if you're enjoying my videos today, make sure to like and subscribe. So in this video, I'm going to be going over things that are common to all three classes. Those would be the grenade abilities and the fragments. So just like the Void 3.0 update, the Solar 3.0 update makes it so all solar grenades are available to every class. So that of course would include the solar grenade, trip mine grenade, thermite grenade, incendiary grenade, swarm, fusion, firebolt, and a new grenade called a healing grenade. So there's nothing too different in terms of grenades, but you do have the new words associated with Solar 3.0. So you have Scorch. The target is singed by destructive solar light, taking damage over time. Scorch damage increases as the target accumulates more Scorch stacks. After enough Scorch stacks are applied, the target then ignites, which leads us to the word ignition, a large solar explosion which deals damage in an area around the target. So those are a couple of the words associated with Solar 3.0, but then we of course have healing words as well. We have restoration, you regenerate health and shield over time, cannot be interrupted by taking damage. Here, you are healed in a burst of mending solar light. So those are kind of the words associated with Solar 3.0, and you can see they have the descriptions here on all of the grenades if you ever need to double check what something does. Now let's move on to the fragments, which are again common to all three classes. Here we have Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. Then we have Ember of Benevolence. Applying Restoration, Cure, or Radiant to allies grants increased grenade, melee, and class ability regeneration for a short duration. This adds another word for Solar 3.0, Radiant. This makes it so your weapons are enhanced by the power of the Traveler and deal increased damage to foes. Next up, Ember of Beams makes it so solar super projectiles have strong target acquisition. Ember of Empyrean. Solar weapons or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you. Then we have Ember of Combustion. Final blows with your solar super cause targets to ignite. Ember of Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you and nearby allies radiant. Then we have Ember of Char. Your solar ignition spreads scorch to affected targets. Ember of Tempering. Solar weapon final blows grant you and your allies increased recovery for a short duration. It stacks up to 3 times. While Ember of Tempering is active, your weapons have increased airborne effectiveness. Then we have Echo of Blistering. Defeating targets with solar ignitions grants grenade energy. Ember of Solace makes it so radiant and restoration effects applied to you have increased duration. Ember of Eruption. Your solar ignitions have increased area of effect. Ember of Ashes, you apply more scorch stacks to targets. Ember of Wonder, rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions generates an orb of power. And the last fragment is Ember of Searing, defeating scorched targets grants melee energy. Now that we've covered everything that's common to all three classes, I want to go into details on what's different for each class. Warlocks, you have 2 super options. You have Daybreak, and of course you have Well of Radiance. For Rift options, you of course have the Healing Rift and you have the Empowering Rift, but now in the Rift options you have Phoenix Dive. The jumps remain the same for Warlocks. For melees, Warlocks have the new Incinerator Snap, as well as keeping the Celestial Fire Warlock melee ability. And finally, for the Warlock Aspects, we have Touch of Flame. This makes it so your Healing, Solar, Firebolt, and Fusion grenades have enhanced functionality. For Healing grenades, it improves the strength of Cure and Restoration effects applied. For solar grenades, it increases the linger duration, periodically emitting blobs of lava around its perimeter. For firebolt grenades, you have increased target search radius and maximum target count. And for fusion grenades, it makes it so that grenade explodes twice. Then Warlocks have Icarus Dash. Of course, this is exactly what Icarus Dash was before, but it's tied to an aspect now. And finally, the last aspect for Warlocks is Heat Rises. You can fire weapons, melee, and throw grenades while gliding. You again consume your grenade to activate Heat Rises. Then for Titans, you're of course keeping the Hammer of Soul super, and you're keeping the Burning Maul super as well. For barricade options, you still only have Towering Barricade and Rally Barricade. For melee abilities, you have the Throwing Hammer, and you also have Hammer Strike. So far for Titans, there's nothing too different, but let's get to the aspects. So Roaring Flames is the first Titan aspect, and it was part of the Burning Maul branch before. The next one is called Soul Invictus. This makes it so solar ability final blows Hammer of Soul impacts, and defeating scorched targets creates sunspots. Your abilities regenerate faster and your super drains more slowly while standing in a sunspot. Also, sunspots apply scorch and deal damage to targets inside, and entering one applies restoration. And the final Titan aspect is called Consecration. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to launch a wave of solar energy forward, damaging and scorching targets in front of you as you leap into the air. While airborne, activate your charged melee again to slam to the ground and create a second, larger wave of damaging solar energy. If the wave hits a scorched target, they ignite. So this one is something completely new to the Titan kit, and I'm interested to see how this plays out. It sounds pretty fun to use. Alright, for hunters out there, you have 3 super options. You have Golden Gun Deadshot, you have Golden Gun Marksman, and you have Blade Barrage. In terms of dodges, you actually have 3 dodges now. There's a third option available. You of course keep the Marksman's dodge, you also have Gambler's dodge, but now you also have Acrobat's dodge. This makes it so you can dodge to perform an acrobatic leap. Upon landing, you make yourself and nearby allies radiant. Of course, the jumps remain unchanged. Then you have 4 melee abilities. You have Knife Trick, which is a fan of flaming knives similar to the previous Blade Barrage branch. You have a new lightweight knife, which is just a quick knife throw. Then you of course keep weighted throwing knife and the proximity explosive knife. So there's quite a few options here in the melee abilities. Then for the first aspect, we have Knock 'em Down, and this isn't really anything new to the subclass. Your solar supers are enhanced, Golden Gun Deadshot has increased duration, Golden Gun Marksman has increased damage resistance and duration, and Blade Barrage launches more projectiles. While Radiant Final Blows with your equipped throwing knife fully refund your melee energy. So actually the name is the same, but a lot of the functionality is a little bit different. Then for the second hunter aspect, we have On Your Mark. Precision Final Blows grant you and nearby allies increased weapon handling and reload speed for a short duration. This stacks up to 3 times. Activating your class ability immediately grants maximum stacks of On Your Mark. And finally, the last aspect for hunters is Gunpowder Gamble. Defeat targets with abilities, solar debuffs, or solar weapons to charge up an improved solar explosive. Then you can use your grenade button to throw a solar explosive that can be shot in mid-air to cause an ignition. It seems like hunters have quite a bit of new stuff in their kit, which is going to be interesting to see in both PvE and PvP. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this in-game overview of Solar 3.0. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel as well. Any support on my Season of the Haunted videos is going to be very much appreciated. But that's all I have for this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.